Dragilor, întâi vorbesc în română ca să dau cezarului român ce al cezarului român, după care o să trec în engleză. Vă zic în română ca să nu înțeleagă foarte mult profesorul. După ce am făcut la MBA cursul dânsului de strategie, mi s-a schimbat un pic creierii capului. Atât de important a fost pentru mine. Acum, switch to English. Thank you, professor. I said all the good things about your class.
I hope.
I said that after taking your class, my mind kind of switched. And I was like, whoa, this is the right way to do it. So, thank you for taking the time. Before going to teach the first graders of the MBA program here in Bucharest, what is all about. Thank you for taking the time, and please answer in your way to our main questions of the project. What an MBA is useful for from your opinion?
From my opinion, an MBA is made for people already working, having several years of experience in different companies or in one company, one expertise, and they want to go to another level. They understand the problems, they saw so many things, and they just have not perhaps all the keys to answer those problems. So how can we solve the problems? How can I go up the hierarchical ladder? How can I help my other people, the other employees in the company to do a better job? So that's for the main reason why you should make an MBA. It can also be helpful if you are not so happy right now with your job and say, I want to go elsewhere. Either in a bigger company, it's possible, or to start your own company. And you say, it's nice, but I need something in management. I need something in leadership. I need to understand better how to make the financial part. I need to have some understanding of marketing. So all those different pieces, how can you tie them together? And that's really an MBA. It's not just a set of courses, it's how everything interacts in the real world.
Guys, you heard the professor talking like that. It's the same during the class. And I want to ask you, you're in Bucharest. In Romania, the professor is like he or she should stay in a box of glass.
Yeah, I see the thing.
And and my first one of my first impressions with you professors at the MBA City College was like, dude, they are not professors. They are kind of our smarter colleagues. Is it a strategy that you are so close to the students in a way that you take their questions, their feedback? Some of you base your teaching on their feedback. Is it a strategy, or is it like this is how you do it?
I think that's the way an MBA should work. The people in front of me, they are not first graders, they are not children. They have lots of experience, and in many domains, they know clearly more than I do. My job is just, okay, you have an experience. What's the part of that experience that you can generalize and use in other settings? And what is so specific, you cannot say, oh, if I go to the next company, I do exactly the same thing. And so that's where the professors, the older people come in, say, oh, it's nice your experience, but look at the theory and try to make best of the both worlds. So we are there to help you generalize, understand, find some ground rules, but also discard things that you saw in some companies and that are not top-notch, who is not the best way of doing things. And we just help you to sort things out. And I don't see myself, or I cannot as a teacher say, oh, I know everything. I will give you the knowledge and you just have to write everything down what I'm speaking. It doesn't make any sense. I think an MBA is there to make interactions with the teacher, but also among the other students, because you have all nice backgrounds, you all have nice business connections, so the networking part here is also quite important.
Yeah, about the networking part, I have to say this. With some of the professors, we were drinking some teas, some coffees after classes, about the networking. But why? Because they wanted more from us, from our experience. How do you do this? And we were asking, but why are you asking? I mean, you're a professor. Because I want to know, I want to understand, I want to be better for the next classes.
And the idea is really to be also up to the current standard. Of course, we are creating new concepts, new theories all the time. But do they fit the real world? And an MBA, it needs to fit the real world. If it's not correct, if it's not the way companies are making their business or should make their business, it has no place for us.
From your experience as an MBA professor, what is the hardest part for the students?
Probably it's balancing the personal life, the professional life, and the education. It's demanding. You have certain numbers of course each year, one specific course each month. You have some travels also to organize to visit other cities. So it's not what we are proposing is not a fast, light MBA just to get some concept. It's a real 2 years and a little bit more program, so it's heavy. We are giving you lots of things, and therefore you should not jump in and saying, oh, just 2 days and then it's good, there is no other works. You will have homeworks to do alone or in groups. You will have real assessments to follow. So it's really, in addition to everything else that you are doing in your life, do you want or do you can devote a certain numbers of hours to do this?
Yeah, I ask you these questions because for this project it's very, very important to be very realistic, to understand how hard it is, what are the benefits, and to have the big picture, to be informed, to take the best decision. Talking about the best decisions. What would you say to an possible MBA student who comes to you and says something like this? Yeah, but it will be worth it to go for 2 years, hard 2 years, my
Right.
friends, hard 2 years, but very useful.
It's clearly, we believe it's worth it because, first of all, the content we are teaching you, and it works like this. Let me explain a little bit the MBA for those who are not knowing it. It's 2.5 years. The first year, you have some, let's call it basic courses. The courses that whatever MBA in a top business school you are doing in the world, you have to know. So that is common knowledge. And then your second year, you will specialize. And that is really a moment where you say, okay, I know that I will go, or I see my future in marketing, or I see my future doing logistics and supply chain. And this is a very important part nowadays. Or I see myself more in human resource management. And that's something where you will have people coming specifically from those domains teaching you something. So you have the general knowledge, whatever you are supposed to know in a company, something quite applied, very specific to a domain. And then you have, if I may say, my favorite part, the cherry on the top, you will have to write a very big MBA thesis. And seriously, I believe it's one of the most important part, one of sometimes the most struggling, the most difficult for some students, but it's quite interesting because you are free to choose the topic that you want. And you will have a professor or a coach who will be with you over a certain number of months, just focusing on the problem you want to solve, oriented to what you are seeking in your company, or because you feel that in the future you want to go in a very specific industry and it's related to that industry. So basically, it's the moment where you fine-tune the MBA to what is really important for you. So is it helpful? If you are able to tell me, this is what I want to know exactly, this is what I want to study, then we can bring you the correct piece of knowledge and it will be very helpful.
You know, in the beginning, in my first classes here at the MBA, we were like, not only me, all the colleagues, we were like, so we have no Romanian professors, which is good, I guess. It's not like I have against Romanian professors because a lot of them are sensational. But and then we understand that we have French professors, German professors, Greek professors, Canadian professors, and we were like British professor, and we were like, so what's about this MBA? Tell us about
the core of
it. Why?
First of all, the MBA.
Sorry, because from a Romanian perspective, your accent is very nice. It's the same with the Scottish accent.
Okay. Well, first of all, and just be clear on that, I know many Romanian teachers, professors, they are fantastic also. So no bad feelings on that. But the MBA is called Pan-European MBA. So at least what you have to do, you need to be in contact with teachers from other cultures, other countries. That seems normal. And during your study trips, you will be in contact with people from other countries, also making the same MBA that you are, hoping to network and to see Europe differently. So it's pan-European. Besides that, that MBA, it's a co-creation between a huge thing that is called City College, that is mainly in Thessaloniki, a university in the UK for the British side, so University of York, and one more traditional French university that is in France, Strasbourg. And so you understand that because you have these three entities participating in the MBA, you will have teachers coming from these three entities at least. And it so happened that in Strasbourg, because we are so close to Germany, we also have German teachers. And it so happens that we are a quite international study and university, and that 40% of our teachers are non-French teachers. So you may have some Italians also, maybe a Spanish guy. We have also a Canadian guy who jumps in from time to time. So it's international. It's quite interesting to see, because if the core concept will be the same, whatever the course is, the way of teaching it, the way of seeing the world is not the same. And that is the moment where, again, you can ask whatever question you want to your teacher to have his opinion, his worldview. And it will be a little bit different from another one, because he will emphasize one point when it's more important for another to pinpoint another fact, and so on. And that makes the diversity, the richness of the MBA.
One of my three finest memories from the MBA program are the trips to Strasbourg, York, and Thessaloniki, because guys, you have to go there for one entire weekend, not weekend, prolonged weekends, let's say that, in those three cities. Special memories, very hard, because you go there to study. Okay, you are visiting the city, you are drinking your beers, your wine, whatever, but you go there to study. So it's like before, after, very hard. Why? Do know you come to Bucharest to teach,
Yes.
but why do you take us there in your cities?
I think it's important. First of all, you will be, after your MBA, alumni of all these universities. So at least you have to go there and say, that's the place. I am part of that. So there is a reason why you should go there. Then in each of these cities, you will have a different experience. Of course, when you come to Strasbourg, we will visit some European places, and the courses are more oriented to interaction and how we can collaborate, which makes sense because it's pan-European, there are a lot of things, so collaboration is important there. Our colleagues in Europe, there will be more, let's say, the finance, the leadership-oriented things, the really British way of seeing the problems. Also, completely different spirit, completely different ambiance, but you have to taste it. And then our colleagues in Thessaloniki, who are the weeks of speciality, the longest study trip, but also probably the hardest, because the nightlife in Thessaloniki is quite vivid.
The European city that never sleeps.
Yeah, it's a nice city. So, but you have to come there full of energy, because during the days you have very long days of classes, and you have a quite active nightlife. But also, it's a different way of making teaching, a different ambiance, and those moments are the moments where really we mix you up. You are no longer among the same people from the same city, the same country that you are seeing during all the year. You are mixed with others. And by example, in Strasbourg, you will have to compete with other groups. There are some games, some business games that you have to do, some decisions to make, and we see which country finishes best or which group finishes best. Yeah. So if you like that, you like a little bit of competition, it will be a nice moment.
You just make me remember the memories with the Armenian people, the Serbians. Oh, very nice. It is very nice. I want to ask you one more question, because again, what an MBA is useful for, we have to give them all the information they need. And one of the let's say myths, something like that, is that I am paying this MBA.
Yes.
It's like, give me the diploma or something like that, and that's it. Oh, no, guys.
You will be disappointed. Yeah. We don't have a 100% success rate. So depending how you are looking this, is this a glass half full or half empty? It simply means that it's hard, You are not buying a stuff and we're giving you the stuff for free after that. You need to own it. So you need to be able to go to the courses to have the good gradings, or you will not obtain the diploma. However, and that's my point of view, diploma is just a final bonus at the end. What is really important is the knowledge that you get. Is there something useful that we are teaching you? Will you go out of the MBA and saying, oh, I had that and that thing in my professional life. If I had knew this, I would have acted differently. And that's the real bonus that you get. So gradings, yes, that is important. I know that with the assessments, many students are always saying, oh my goodness, would I be able to go back to things like this, to really study like this? But the core thing that you should keep in mind is what type of information, of knowledge, of novelty can I get out of this? Will I have another tool that I didn't see before, a new concept, and say, oh, now I will apply it differently also? That's the real bonus.
Doing this project and a lot of interviews, I am kind of the image of the MBA program in Romania. And I went to a TV show once, and they say, tell us in 2 words what this MBA is all about. And I said, aha moments. For me, that's what.
Nice way to put it. Okay.
Yeah, aha moments. So thank you, Professor, for your time. Thank you for teaching all the aha moments, you and your colleagues during the MBA. And we're going to leave you to welcome the first graders.
Yes, younger ones.
I want to troll a little bit because I'm like, I graduated.
You did it.
Yeah,
Okay.
so call me master. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. See you in the class.
Oameni buni, încă o dată, un profesor, unul dintre cei mai buni pe care am avut la MBA, care v-a explicat la ce ajută un MBA. Luați decizia informată și dacă vreți mergeți înainte, dacă nu, nu. Vă pupă fratele vostru, mergem înainte.